Hello everyone, welcome back to Base Damage, and welcome back to Community Fridays. Lo and behold, I finished recording the Trial by Fire for Kenshin, and I was like, wow, I don't have a Community Fridays recorded for this week. Let me see what we got, and the first thing I see is a post from our good boy, Joker, having a Kenshin deck for me, so I'm like, fuck it, we're already on Kenshin, let's do this, let's talk about it. So obviously, we have we have a really fun Kenshin 8 choice build that Joker has cooked us up today. This is definitely budget themed, and obviously he said it at the very top because we don't have like the level 0 Ricky that I stated before. We don't have the anti-change promo and stuff like that. We do have another backup in here. We'll talk about that in just a little bit, but let's go through this. Also, title is Budget Kenshin for the Love of Cute Dudes. You know what? That's fair. Let's do this. This is basically centered around Yahiko, and I kind of like it because there's like a level 2 Yahiko in here that's just like really freaking cool. I like the idea of just being able to like blanket splash him into other decks, and I'll explain that when we get there. But let's start from the very beginning with Megami. We have a 3/2/8/5 beautiful female doctor, Megami Takani. If you have 4 or more Meiji characters, this gets minus a level while in your hand, so very easy early play condition. This gets 1,000 power for each character in your opponent's backstage, so if your opponent has to be mindful, but you can keep it at a 10/5 constantly. When this card is placed on stage from hand, you can discard a card. If you have 2 or more other Meiji characters, you can pay that cost. If you do, choose a card in your clock, return it to your hand. So heal from clock to hand, very, very nice there. 1 copy, so 2 copies of that. 1 copy of Kamiya Kashinu Ryu, which was the sword art style that Kaoru was teaching in the anime. Student Yahiko Myojin. If you have 4 or more Meiji romantic characters, this gets -1 level in your hand. Another early play condition, very easy. It's placed on stage from hand. Draw up to 2. Choose a card in hand, put into your waiting room. And this gains 3k power till end of turn. When this card attacks, you can pitch 2. If you do, deal 1 damage to your opponent. So a little bit of an off finisher, but you're going to be pinging for 1 a lot in this deck. So 4 copies of this particular 2/1 5k. Odd pair Sanosuke and Yahiko. I'm not going to say their last names. I'm just going to say the first names. When this is placed on stage from hand, you can discard a card. If you do, choose a Meiji character in waiting room, return it to your hand. So a lot of really easy, just salvaging back effects and stuff like that. Plus, this is going to be a very, very useful staple card you're going to see coming up a lot in the upcoming deck profiles and everything. An act. Put this to waiting room, choose an opponent's character, return it to their hand. Bounce a problem card off the field, whether it's anti-burn, whether it's, some other just really pain in the ass card. Just very nice to have a playset of this. Absolutely. All right, so 4 copies of Helps the Weak and Fights the Strong Yahiko. You're reading this correctly, it is a 2/0, but that isn't going to matter. Typically when it's like, a 0 cost, it's going to be like weak. So you see 4k power and you're like, oh, this is nothing. It's whatever. No, it's something. If all of your characters are Meiji, this gets 5k power. This is a free 2/0 9,000 attack character with a crit trigger. Just saying, it only has 1 soul. It has a crit trigger. Cool. And in choice, that matters for this effect for this having the crit trigger as well, because you can just keep adding them back to hand off choice if you need. You're just gonna be able to throw down free 9Ks, not counting whatever other cards you have buffing them or whatever. And you could also early play him. I know there's like a climax combo for that. This is just really funny to me. I think because of that, you could possibly splash this in other builds. Like, say, for the Trial by Fire Kenshin that I did, you could easily just splash copies of this in here because he's super cheap. And that way you could have, like, a decent beat stick. It's really nice. I like that. 4 copies of that. Oh, I didn't even say the climax combo. Ugh. When the battle opponent becomes reversed, if what one's sword bears is in your climax area, deal 1 damage to your opponent. And obviously that is going to be this one. So what one's sword bears. So both of them are Yahiko. Both of them are choice. It's all good. Which the other ones are... so this Kaoru works with the other... with that one as well. We got the Memory Kick Sanosuke backup. It's a 3k backup and Memory Kick always, so very nice here. So instead of the anti-change, we can't run the anti-change promo because going for budget here. we have a 2500 Aoshi backup. When you use this card's backup, you can pay 2. If you do, return all cards from your waiting room to your deck. So I was going to say a reshuffle, and it's just a refresh without taking damage. Bleh. So instead, we're having to run that as opposed to the other. Completely fair. For your level 1 game, this is it for your level 1 game. 3 of these level 1 Guiding People Kaorus. So 1025. All of your characters in front of this get 500 power, just in general. When what one sword bears is placed in your climax area, you may pay the cost. Sacrifice a Yahiko from field. If you do, summon that 2/0 Yahiko from your waiting room to an open position of your stage, which you just sacked a Yahiko. You'll have the spot. And that character gets plus 3k power till end of turn. So let's do some math here. Just off of this card's effects alone, 3,500 plus the 9k, sitting at 12,500, plus the choice being in play. You're sitting at, and unless I fucked up on numbers, you're sitting at a minimum of 13,500 at level 1. You're going to get over a lot of stuff with this kid. Like, if you're able to, like, even if he dies somehow, and you're just able to keep constantly bringing him back with the 3k buff, just over and over and over. Even if he survives subsequent turns, you're still going to be sitting at like a 10-5 with the choice trigger, like, from not having the other 3k buff. So, really nice to have that. All right. On to the zeros. And we have a lot of zeros, but for understandable reasons. Hold on, actually. Oh, no. Okay. It did the same thing. The fucking level 3 Sanosuke. When I recorded the Trial by Fire, for some reason, it tossed the level 3 Sanosuke down here. Like, it thinks it's an event or something. Okay, so I'm sorry, Joker. We have one more level 3 in here. We have the Sanosuke from the trial deck. This deck log does not like this thing, apparently. 329k gets 15 in character encore if all your characters are Meiji. On play, you can either heal one or Fumio your opponent. Basically, you force them to choose a climax in their waiting room and return all cards except that one climax back into their deck. Sorry. Okay. Now, going on to the Yahiko. Sorry, I looked down here, I'm like, why does that art look familiar? Like, hold on now. I recognize this. So we do have another level 3 in the deck. Sorry. But shit happens. So, Lofty Ambitions Yahiko. It's a 002k. When this is placed on stage from your hand, pay 1, pitch 1, search your deck for a Meiji character. Understandable. When this card attacks, you can pay 1, look at the top card of your opponent's deck, and put it on top or bottom of their deck. So, may not come up that much, but maybe you can snipe off some stuff. Very nice. Next is 4 copies of Emotional Strike using all of his strength Yahikos. 0015. When it's placed on stage, this gets 15 for the turn, so it'll be a 3k. When this attacks, you can discard a card. If you do, look at up to 4 cards from the top of your deck, choose up to 1 Meiji character amongst them, reveal it to your opponent, add it to your hand, put the rest into waiting room. So being able to pitch extra cards that you don't need and then just, grab the cards that you do need. Very nice. 4 copies of... Okay, so this is the other climax combo of the deck. And you're going to have stuff big enough in this deck, it's not going to matter. 0015. When wanting the strength to protect, which is the other choice trigger, is placed in your climax area. If you have 2 or more Meiji characters, choose one of your characters. It gets the following ability till end of turn. When this card's battle opponent becomes reversed, search your deck for a Meiji character, reveal it to your opponent, put it into your hand, shuffle your deck. So if early on you're able to get some combos going off, you can like stack this onto one card multiple times. It is really nice. Let's see. And the second effect is an act. Pay 1, rest 2 characters. Look at up to 3 cards from the top of your deck. Choose a Meiji character amongst them. Add it to your hand. Put the rest into your waiting room. So a little bit extra hand advantage there. So 4 copies of that, obviously, because you need the climax combo. Very nice. 3 copies of Akabeko's poster girl, Tsubame Sanjo. Very, very cute. 001k. When this is placed on stage from hand, reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a Meiji, her soul does not decrease by side attacking, but that's whatever. But honestly, kind of understandable because you could side with her still and then have her second effect go off. At the beginning of your opponent's attack phase, you can pay 1, put the top card of your deck into your clock, and return this to your hand so she comes back and you can use her again. If you do, choose one of your other Meiji characters, return it to your hand. So you could bounce back, say, a Yahiko or, some other card that you want to save. So completely understandable. 3 copies of that. 1 copy of the... Seeing Right Through Yahiko Myojin. It is a global 500 to all your other Meiji characters. And on play, put the top 2 cards of your deck into Waiting Room. If there's a climax amongst those, you get to salvage back a Meiji character. Just kind of a little bit extra there. Obviously, needing the Yahikos to be able to sack as well for the Kaoru's climax combo. Understandable. This is it. Okay, so Kind-Hearted Rurouni. This is the climax swapper Kenshin. 1 copy of that. Understandable. 2 copies of the Yahiko from the trial deck. That is, the turn that it's played on attack, you can pay 1, pitch 2 to search 2 Meiji characters from your deck. 4 copies of Quiet Sense of Justice Yahiko. So 002K. During your turn, this gets 1,000 power, and when this card's battle opponent becomes reversed, choose one of your other Meiji characters, rest it, and move it to an open position of your backstage. So, clean cut, very nice to have. 2 copies of My Voice Going Away. 001K. When this is placed on stage from your hand, you can pay 2, search your deck for a climax with the same card name as a climax in your Waiting Room. Very interesting. I actually didn't know that had that effect. I forgot about that completely. It's a double rare. I haven't been paying attention to the double rares that much, but hey, it's a budget deck, so here we go. Brainstorm. Pay 1, rest this, mill 4 for each climax, salvage back a character. So, very good Kaoru here. Very good. 1 copy of the Sonosuke that we talked about, the level 3. So this is really cool too. The level 2 Onslaught of Strong Enemies event. It's a level 2, 3 cost backup event. If you have 5 or more Meiji characters, choose 1 character in battle. It gets the following ability till end of turn, which is you're going to choose your opponent's character as long as they don't have hexproof. It gives them the effect, this card cannot deal damage to a player. As well as choose one of your characters, it gets 1,500 power till end of turn. So a little bit extra buff there, and make it so your opponent can't deal damage. Very nice. 4 copies of the Wanting the Strength to Protect climax. Very, very good here for the level 0 Yahiko combo. And 4 of What One's Sword Bears for the Kaoru and the Yahiko level 2. And that is going to be it for the deck. Big thank you to Joker for submitting this. Always cooking up something in the kitchen for us. And like I said, this is just a busted, like, really fun looking card. I think this is going to do a lot of shenanigans. That's just me. But that is going to be it for us today. And thank you all for checking out Community Fridays this week. If you want to submit your own Community Friday decks as well, feel free to join the Discord. There's 2 different channels for decklist submissions and Community Fridays as well. Feel free to drop them in either. Either one is greatly appreciated. And thank y'all once again for watching. We will see y'all on the flip side. Stay based.